Hi everyone, today we'll be working on finding volume and surface area of cones. Before we do that, let's start by naming the parts of the cone. So just like the pyramid, we have a vertical height from the very bottom to the very top, or I should say from the center of the base all the way up to the top. So that is our height, which will be represented by the letter H in the formula. And then again, like the pyramid, we have the lateral or the slant height, which is from the edge of the base to the top, and that is represented by the L in the formula. And then we have our base, and typically we're going to be asked to find the area of the base in our formulas. All right, next we're going to draw a picture of the net for a cone. So a cone is made up of a circular base and then a triangle that gets wrapped around that base. All right, now let's take a look at the formulas that we will be using. So for surface area, we've got this formula here. It's the pi r squared plus pi times r times L. All right, that pi r squared, if you remember, is the formula for a circle, finding the area of a circle. So there's the area of our base plus, and this ends up essentially being the perimeter of the circle times that slant height. Okay? So the perimeter of that circle times the slant height. All right, so our volume is 1/3 pi r squared h. All right, so remember when we multiply something by 1/3, it's really the same as dividing by 3. All right, so here we go. Let's find the surface area of this particular cone here. So we're going to start with our formula, just like we should always do. All right, so here's our formula. All right, so we're going to have to watch out because our formula calls for the radius, but when they draw a line all the way through, even though they have a dot in the middle, that line goes all the way through, they're telling us it's a diameter. So we actually have to figure out what is the radius. So in this case, my radius is going to be 4 yards. So we're going to use 4 because it's going to be half of that 8. So I'm going to use 4 to substitute in. And then I've got my slant height of 12. So I'm going to substitute those values in. And then I can go ahead and get to work and do the math. I'm going to take care of all my multiplication first, and then I can add at the end. So I've taken care of the 2 multiplication problems, and now I can add at the end. And again, it's surface area, so we have to make sure we square all of our units of measure. All right, this one here is going to be a try on your own. I'll have you guys come back and do that after you've gone through the video. Let's go to the next page. All right, example 2, a word problem. A paper cup with a flat lid shaped like a cone has a diameter of 6 centimeters and a slant height of 7.5 centimeters. How much paper is needed to make the cup and lid? All right, well first, it gives us a diameter of 6 meters. And we know in our formula, we need radius. So we're going to have to knock that down, cut it in half, and use the radius of 3 centimeters. All right, and then we need that other piece of information, the slant height of 7.5 centimeters. So now we can go ahead and substitute that information into our formula. We can take care of the multiplication, and then we can finally do our addition. And once again, make sure you label all answers. And this one's going to be a try on your own for surface area again. All right, let's take a look at number 3. Now we're going to look at finding volume of a cone. So the area for volume is 1/3 pi r squared h. So again, we need radius, so we're going to make sure that we have the radius. So this time they indicate a line that only goes halfway across that circle. So they've given us the radius. So we can go ahead and substitute in our information. And you're going to notice that I took out that 1/3 and I replaced it with just dividing everything by 3. Because remember, multiplying by 1/3 is the same as dividing by 3. Makes it a little bit easier. So now we can take care of all that multiplication on the top, and then we can divide by 3. You're going to have a try on your own problem here. Pay attention to what they're giving. It looks like they have that line drawn all the way across, which means they're giving you the diameter. You need to find the radius. All right, here's one more example, a word problem. A cake decorator rolls a piece of paper to form a cone. She uses this as a funnel to pour sprinkles into small containers. The cone has a radius of 6 centimeters and a height of 18 centimeters. What amount of sprinkles can the cone hold? All right, so what amount can that cone hold? That means that it is going to be volume. All right, so we're going to have to pull out our volume formula. Okay, and see what we have. So again, I'm going to look at my formula. I need radius, so I'm going to look to see what did they give me. And they gave me a radius of 6 centimeters. So good, we've got that. And then a height of 18 centimeters. All right, so we're all set in that department, so we can go ahead and just substitute those in. So I'm going to substitute in my values, and again, instead of leaving that multiply by 1/3, I changed it to divide by 3. Because anytime we multiply something by 1/3, we actually just divide by 3. I can take care of all the multiplication on top, and then I can divide by 3 to get my final answer. And then just as a reminder from last time, when we do volume, we cube our units of measure. Okay, that brings us to the end of the video. Please make sure you complete your try on your own before coming into class. I will see you next time.